What's up, everybody? It's Crohn's boy. Just thought I'd come online and ask everybody a question. How do you think your mind affects your healing? It's a question that's been going through my mind a lot lately, trying to think some of the things that definitely contributed to me getting my health back and that sort of thing. And you know what the funny thing is? They say 60 to 70% of your neuroreceptors are located in your gut. You know, first I'm thinking, okay, well, how could the things that control a lot of the things that go in my brain be in my gut? Then the more I started to think about it, I realized, if you ever had to do a speech, speak in front of a crowd, do something like that, whether it be business or anything you have to do in school, a project or anything like that, and you get cramps in your stomach, perhaps you even get the trots or anything, because you're nervous. Or if you've ever been in a relationship and you thought maybe the other person was going to cheat or something was going to happen like that, and you got sick to your stomach, I'm sure there's many things that you or I can think about when we've been in a situation when we were really stressed out or something and it affected our stomach or the way we felt, energy level, bowel movements, that sort of thing. I can tell you in general with myself, I noticed my health improved a lot as soon as I started resolving a whole bunch of things that were unresolved in my life, whether that be issues with family members, like siblings. I know I've had some issues at some points in time, perhaps with my mom or anybody, and I needed to get those things out. And as I've started to resolve these issues or speak about things that have bothered me, that could even be the simplest thing, saying sorry to somebody that you did something wrong, a long time ago, but you never had the opportunity to say sorry. I consider that unresolved. I noticed the more that I did this, I pretty much took care of unresolved issues and started to speak my feelings when I was hurt or if I was upset. I told somebody, and ultimately I noticed that, wow, I started to feel a lot better. That peace of mind was just worth every penny of energy that I put into trying to make myself feel better. You know what I mean? It definitely worked. I know there's some bad things that we have to be accountable for, but sometimes it does go a long way to say sorry to somebody or to address something that you know is there and you have to deal with, because I think it can sort of postpone your healing process if you don't look at those kind of things and resolve them. Another thing I think that's super crucial in regards to getting healthy is the importance of believing. I can't stress how important this is one of the most important things. If you're looking at getting healthy, you really have to believe. You know what I mean? In any healing process, the importance of believing is just critical. When you talk to someone and you first get diagnosed with this disease, like Crohn's disease, colitis, or IBD, or any disease in general, all you're hearing from everybody is, there's no cure. There's no cure. I've had this my whole life. I go on these new websites and everybody's pretty much saying that, yeah, Crohn's and colitis, there's no cure. You're going to have this for your whole life and you're going to live a pretty crummy life when it comes down to it, You don't think eventually when all you hear, that's all you hear from everybody, you know what I mean, is there's no cure, there's no cure, there's no cure. I think eventually you're going to believe that. Your brain's going to say, there's no cure. There's no cure. I'm not never going to get better from this. There's no cure, And then when you keep on telling yourself or actually believing there's no cure, you're pretty much telling your brain, okay, well, since there's no cure, there's no reason for me to fight back and even try to beat this thing, Because if you want to beat this thing, I think you really have to believe and say, you know what? Yeah, I can beat this thing. I believe I can beat this thing. So many people just assume that because the FDA or anybody tells them that there's no cure, that there's no people out there that have beat this thing, and that's so not true. Like I said, I believe, until I was able to say, you know what, I believe I could beat this thing. If there's other people that are symptom-free or med-free with Crohn's and colitis, for significant periods of time, then why can't I be the person that does the same thing? You know what I mean? I just noticed that it got me so far in my healing process, And when I said, you know what, I believe I can do this, it made my body pretty much say, you know what, yeah, he can do it. And it gave me the extra energy, and I think it gave my brain the ability to, really push forward and go for that optimal level of health. One of the really hard things when it comes to belief, or if you believe or you're passionate about something, that sort of thing, is it's not very measurable. You can't really measure that how hope or how much you believe has got you ahead in life or in general. You can't really measure that on paper, and it's not quantitative, But the funny thing is, if you look on the internet, there's actual studies that have shown situations. I know there's studies when people were going to die, there was there was two groups. One of the groups was told, you know what, you have it was I think it was terminal illness or terminal diseases. Out of the two groups, one group was told, okay, you have a terminal illness and you're gonna die probably within the next 6 to 8 months. So they were given a stipulation of when they were actually gonna pass away and they were gonna die. And the other group, they were told that they were sick, but they weren't told that they were gonna die. And I'm not sure if you can guess the results, but what ended up happening is the people that were given the stipulation and saying, you know what, you're going to die in 6 to 8 months, they did die in 6 to 8 months. There was even examples of people that were misdiagnosed. They actually got diseases and ended up dying anyways. You know what I mean? If you don't believe any of this, I definitely recommend you search the internet. And the other group, the people that weren't given the stipulation, you know what, a lot of them lived a lot longer than they were supposed to, you know. And even some of them to this day are still living, you know. And you wonder, you say, is this coincidence, or does it actually show you that there's a huge importance that our mind plays? If you don't believe in something, or you're not told that something's not doable, or you can't do something, you know, your mind will give into that and you won't be able to do something. But if you truly believe that you can beat something, or you can do something, or accomplish something, you will accomplish that. Like, you look at people in history, you know, whether that be the telephone, you know, who would have ever thought you could communicate on a telephone with somebody without a wire from thousands and thousands of miles away? Or, you know, at one point in time, you were crazy to think the world was round, you know, or that there was other planets in the galaxy. Come on, these people were considered idiots, like insane at one point in time, and look at them, they turned out to be right, you know. So really, for anybody that's watching this, I hope to God, or whoever I believe in, that any of you guys could look past many things in your life and say, you know what, it is important to believe or to have hope. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of the strongest things a person can possess is hope. You know what I mean? It'll get you so far in your life. You know, like I said, it's got me far in my life. You know, this isn't. You might be all thinking this is bullshit, but it's really not. You know what I mean? I think if you program your brain to think you can do something, and that you want to do something, attain something, or get somewhere, you'll definitely go way farther than you could ever imagine. You know, have you ever heard the saying that if you say you can or you can't, you're right either way? It's so true, because if you believe you can do it, and if you truly think you can't do it, you won't do it. And I use a simple thing like this, you know, like if it looks like there's a good-looking woman across the bar and you want to go ask her, you know what? I don't ask myself, okay, well, why shouldn't I go ask her for her number? Because my brain's going to spit out answers that are going to say, you know what, you're going to get rejected, Jay. Or, you know what, she might embarrass you. Instead, I ask questions like, you know what, I'm going to ask this chick for her number because I'm going to concentrate on the positive. You know what, she could be really great. Perhaps she's a life mate, you know. Maybe she's a great kisser. Anything to look at the positive side of it. I just look at the pros before I look at the cons, and it's taken me like a lot farther in my life, you know, since before when I was more of a pessimist and I didn't look at the best things in life, you know. Like I said, I know firsthand the importance of believing and having hope and how far it's gotten me. So hopefully, if you're watching this, you know what, give it a shot. Try believing. I can't convince you to believe, but maybe I can just open your eyes to show you how important it is to actually believe, you know, because it will take you farther. Like I said, I'm living proof to say it took me way farther than I ever could imagine, and I'm med-free and virtually symptom-free most of the time. But like I said, it's something that's growing. I still get better and better as time goes. So hopefully, eventually, you know what, this thing will completely be behind me. But I don't want it to be behind me because it's changed my life and gave me purpose, and I'd love to help as many people as I can. But this video is like 9 minutes long, so I'm gonna cut it short. But thanks everybody for listening. Crohn's Boy saying peace. You want to check my website out, it's crohnsboy.com. crohnsboy.com. I'm not selling anything, no pitches, no nothing. I'm just sharing information with you guys, so if you want to check it out, don't be shy.